For me, home is a feeling I carry in my heart. Home is the place where I can live out my passion. And that's exactly what I do as a car designer for Audi in Ingolstadt. That's why I came here. For me, home is when people are waiting for you. Here in Katowice, there are people who look forward to our musical collaborations and perhaps just seeing one another again. So home is always about having friends or family around.
Kamil Labanowicz has spent the last 8 years working for Audi, creating the dream cars of tomorrow. Originally from Poland, he works in the German city of Ingolstadt as an exterior designer. He says he draws cars the same way he would people.
I was born in the 1980s, and for me, German cars were an example of how to build cars that are really, really solid.
So after studying in Poland and Italy, he applied to Audi and was hired. He specializes in show cars like this e-tron electric concept car from 2009. He now speaks fluent German, but also uses English, as many in the design team come from abroad.
Poles can be pretty spontaneous and quick to develop new things. That's really important in the design process, and I think I've brought that to the job.
Since 2012, Alexander Liebreich has been the principal conductor of the Polish National Radio Symphony Orchestra. He's the first German ever to head a Polish national orchestra, a sign that the scars of the past are slowly healing in Europe. The musicians chose him from many contenders, even though he doesn't speak much Polish.
It's a difficult language, very poetic. I understand it well. Numbers are great, and some instructions, yes. But I need to feel free, so sometimes English, French, or Italian just fits better. So I tend to switch around a lot.
At the new concert hall in Katowice, the orchestra performs a piece by Polish composer Henryk Górecki. Poland inspires Liebreich.
There's a belief in something here. It's not at all religious, it's spiritual. A belief in something bigger than we are. That's what I get from this orchestra.
A belief in his own abilities is something Kamil Labanowicz brought with him to Ingolstadt 8 years ago. The Bavarian city has about the same number of inhabitants as his Polish birthplace, Tichy.
I was pleasantly surprised that Ingolstadt is so nice and so old. I'd always imagined it as a factory and then a city built around it where only factory workers live. But as it turns out, the city of Ingolstadt was a pleasant surprise.
After work, Kamil likes to take a drive out of town. He's found friends among his colleagues, and together they explore the surrounding area. His favorite spot is Arnsberg Castle. Having friends has helped him feel more at home, as some people here aren't very open.
Occasionally, I feel like a guest in Germany, and I don't think that will change. It will and it must stay that way, and that's not so bad because there are always new things I can discover.
Yeah, really. Are you?
Alexander Liebreich likes working near an open window. The noise of the passing trains inspires him. In Katowice, he lives in a hotel. As a conductor, he's often on tour, so it's not worth finding a permanent place here. His family is still in Munich, and sometimes he doesn't see them for weeks.
Now that I'm a father and have a young boy whom I love very much, it's tough. Friends become even more important. You need to have good talks and use the time to do things.
For instance, to enjoy a nice dinner at an Asian restaurant with fellow artists. Or perhaps to explore Katowice. Once a mining town, it's become a city of music and culture. So it's not surprising that Liebreich feels comfortable here.
People here are especially emotional. I'd call it a melos, a melody, a sensibility that comprises both joy and sorrow and is expressed outwardly. There's no distance, dryness, no formality. There's always a vision or a feeling. I can only second that. I think Poles are more emotional than people think. They're not afraid of showing their emotions. When something doesn't work, then it doesn't work, and they tell you that right away. By contrast, Germans are a bit reserved in that respect. It's incredibly difficult to engage them in small talk, for instance. But they're very, very factual and precise. There have been lots of situations where they've looked at me strangely because I just wanted to chat a little, like in a shop or at the gas station. Yes, Germans can sometimes be socially awkward, which can come across as being insensitive. But of course, that varies a lot from person to person.
Kamil Labanowicz loves to spin records for his friends, like at this bar in Ingolstadt. The amateur DJ first discovered his passion for dance music in Germany.
Unfortunately, Poland has no tradition in the field of electronic music, which I find a little sad. But we're in Germany, which has a greater one when it comes to this kind of music. In fact, it's the best in the world.
Alexander Liebreich's favorite place in Katowice is Kościuszko Park, though he does miss the Bavarian mountains. Jogging gets him outdoors and helps him stay in tune with nature.
Musicians are always indoors and don't see the outside world, so it's important to me to notice what season it is, and you can do that at the park.
Changing countries doesn't mean they've forgotten their roots.
I'll always be a Pole, even if I don't feel Polish. And I'll never be a German, though I like the country very much. It's really hard to choose, and I don't want to have to choose. And that's not such a bad thing. I feel at home here without having to assume another nationality. To me, it's all about having a cultural mindset.
And that's something you can develop anywhere, whether you're conducting an orchestra or designing the dream cars of the future.